Hey guys, welcome back. Frozen Pond, Stupid Frog, Splat. Well guys, that is almost real time today. Not bad. So welcome back folks, if you're joining me again. Yeah, I had a lot of fun last night. And before I actually dive into some beautiful gameplay here, ooh, that's a cool screenshot. I just wanted to say real quick, I've been excited to play Breath of the Wild, not for the Switch 2 per se. Like, the last 3 or 4 days when I was playing the dry run, you know, before I got the Switch 2, guys, I was dancing on the couch the whole time. So I don't want to make anyone feel like you have to run out and buy a Switch 2 right now. So far, I'm not seeing $600 worth of, or whatever it is, $500 worth of, you know, improvements. So, you know, to each your own, you know, make your own decisions as to whether or not, you know, the enhanced graphics and stuff are worth the money. But yeah, honestly, it's just the same old Breath of the Wild to me. Like, you have no idea how hard it was to contain myself before getting back in when I got the Switch 2, you know, on the live stream. I just wanted to keep streaming. I was like, no, I gotta wait. But yeah, anyway, I'm super excited to be playing the game, you know, regardless of what system I'm playing it on. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to throw that out there because, again, I hate recommending people go out and spend their money. That's a decision that, you know, you each need to make on your own accord. So now that I got that out. And then same thing with the DLC. I know I recommended, you know, getting that before. But that was just because I really didn't know another way. And I kind of regret doing that now. Again, I feel a little bit off if I'm, you know, telling people to go out and spend their money. So, yeah, definitely don't need the DLC. Definitely don't need the Switch 2 to enjoy the game, is what I'm getting at in a long story short. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into gameplay here. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment, that is always appreciated. Toodles. All right. Let's continue. So this is where I saved last night. Link's got the paraglider. Go ahead and take this little wooden plank, kind of like you're a pirate, you're walking the plank. Turn right. We're going to head back to the old man's cabin. And actually, if you want to get, you know, a little bit more airtime with that glider there, you can get a little cheat from the castle. I guess I could have flown this way out of the tower up there and sped this up a little. That's okay. So yeah, funny thing is, as I was going back through last night, looking at the map, you know, right after I got off stream, I'm kind of looking at the map, I'm like, huh, I might have messed some things up on my stamping. That doesn't belong there for one. It kind of belongs over here where this little cubby thing is that jets out over the deal. I totally forgot a Korok seed here at the old man's cabin. Couldn't believe it. I got it on my dry run. I got them all on my dry run. It was like riding a bike. I just picked it up, started playing. And, yeah, it was nothing but a thing. But wow, last night I kind of felt like I was maybe just splitting my focus a little bit too much, you know, trying to remember everything I needed to say. Whereas when I was playing by myself, it was just me and my own thoughts. You know, I was really just focused on the game. So I'll try to do a better job of that. No, I make no promises. Alright guys, so here is that pesky treasure chest, the glitchy chest. But now that we've got the Great Plateau done, or the isolated plateau, we got our paraglider. That chest is now spawned in for us, which is awesome. The warm doublet. And I'm going to put that on right away, because I'm going back into the snow region. So yeah, we're going to wear the good pants, the warm doublet, and we no longer, at least not here on the Great Plateau anyway, we no longer have to worry about the snow biome for cold protection. Alright, and while I'm in here, I'll go ahead and get that squared away. So yeah, now that we got Mr. Friendly Neighborhood Korok Seed, I did a pretty good job otherwise, I think. Everywhere we've been, pretty much on this side, I feel like things look like they're supposed to look. So from here, guys, I'm going to go back over to... Actually, no, scratch that. While we're here at the old man's cabin, there's some goodies down here. Now that we got the paraglider, we can access this. And guys, this is the first place I'm going to touch down in the Kingdom of Hyrule, quote-unquote. Basically, it's literally anywhere off the Great Plateau. So now that we got our paraglider, we can jump down here and just kind of look around for insects or stuff that might be hopping around. Crickets give you stamina. We can make stamina elixirs, very nice. Alright, so now that we got that Hyrule Kingdom flashing across our screen, that Korok seed I pointed out right before I got off last night in the Shrine of Resurrection, that'll be accessible. So yeah, guys, just get your gemstones. This is selling power for rupees. The rock salt can be cooked with. I don't typically use it, but the gemstones are definitely rupees, and the flint. And I probably misspoke last night. I think that Rito Village quest for the flint, I think it's 50 pieces of flint for 500 rupees, I think. We'll find out here when I get there in this playthrough, but that's going to be my final answer for the time being. Alright, so anyway, you saw I just got a nifty little hiding spot treasure chest there. Very nice. So from here, back to the Shrine of Resurrection. Hey Marigold, good morning. Yeah, so I totally forgot. Last night when I said, you know, people were asking me when are you going to be back on, I was like, oh yeah, tomorrow evening, you know, I'll try to do it every evening. Well, I forgot today was Friday. Or, you know, yesterday's tomorrow was Friday. And Friday I said I would do, you know, twice a day, noon and evening. So I was like, oh man. So anyway, yeah, I woke up and kind of realized that real quickly. Okay, so if you have the downloadable content, all these things are going to be flashing across your screen right now. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to walk you through all of that stuff. There's a lot to it. But here's that Korok seed that is now accessible thanks to getting off the Great Plateau. And honestly, I never know why they put these crates here. Maybe they're just to play with, you know, learn game mechanics a little when you first wake up. I don't know. But I keep breaking them, thinking maybe someday something will magically appear in them, and it never happens. So here I am, guys, staying strong. I'm not breaking the crates. Alright, so all that fun stuff flashing across the screen. Xenoblade. Alright. Where are we going? What are we doing? So yeah, the spirit forest of spirits, whatever. A lot of Korok seeds here, a lot of looting to do. First thing I'm going to go over here is get my free flint. And here they're really just showing you how to get a campfire going without using a fire arrow like I like to do. You just basically hit the flint with a metal weapon. You know, an axe would do just fine, and that makes a spark, and it lights the campfire on fire. I know I got a lot of questions and comments in my original series saying, okay, I'm in the shrine, but I don't have fire arrows, now what? It's like, oh yeah. I guess I should have shown people another way to make campfires, you know, rather than relying on fire arrows all the time. So there you have it. And guys, on that note, I always love the feedback. I love the honesty, even if it's brutal honesty sometimes. I'm totally okay with that. I'd much rather somebody leave a comment like that than just dislike it and never look back. You know, feel free to dislike it if you know, that's how you feel. But if you're being honest, I'm okay with any kind of comment like that. And honestly, I've learned a lot, and I've been able to tweak my playthroughs a lot based on that honesty and that feedback. So again, I love y'all for it. Please keep the feedback coming. Both constructive and positive. Really helps. I can learn from both. Alright, pretty much it for right now. Oh, wait a minute, was that a chest? Oh, look at me. I was totally autopiloting there, but I actually remembered to stamp that sucker. Awesome! Alright, so anyway, I'm just kind of rooning around looking for rocks to pick up. Normally I get better rock loot. I don't know if that's a difference in the Switch 2 here. I hope not. Because when I just dry ran this on my Switch 1, the rock was there. Like, I was getting all sorts of fun stuff under rocks. And so far I'm noticing in this playthrough, it just hasn't been there so far. So, man, I hope they didn't take away something good, you know? Because the rock loot was like part of the fun in Breath of the Wild. Alright, so going on out here into the forest a little bit, we'll see this little funny looking mountaintop. Mount Geyser, I guess I'll call it, without water. That's what you get for hiding. And I don't think there's anything too fancy right necessarily around here. But yeah, you're going to see me runing around a lot. And guys, for new players, this is a helpful tool. Use that yellow rune because everything lights up. And later when we get the Sheikah Slate upgraded, it's going to light up enemies as well. So again, just a real handy tool. It's kind of like just scanning the environment for fun stuff. Now, of course, it doesn't go through objects, so you can't see on the other side of a tree per se. But if it's in line of sight, it'll definitely light up for you and help you see other things that you might have otherwise missed. Alright, so we got a Korok seed here. And I'm multitasking here, drinking coffee as I play. What's up, Mr. Korok? I found you. And I want to say that's pretty much it for this little spot. Yeah, there's really nothing up there yet. That'll come later for a DLC challenge. You know, speaking of DLCs, again, getting back to not recommending people go out and spend their money on anything. If you're on the fence about it, I would just recommend, you know, skim the playlist. Just kind of see what it's all about. I've got them labeled pretty accurately as far as like where DLC stuff is. That might give you a better idea whether or not you might want it or might not want it. It gives you a ton of extra goodies, which is really why I bought it. But there's a lot of extra cutscenes and storyline that come with it also that I also felt made it worth it. Not only that, the challenges, guys, like the Master Sword Trials, I had a blast with those. So again, just kind of skim the old playlist there before you make a decision, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. It's an extra $20, and that's a lot to ask when you've already spent a grip on the system and then the game. So again, just kind of wanted to get that out there before I move along. And just to kind of show you where I'm heading here, toward that little body of water, there's yet another Korok seed. And what did I just see sparkling over here? I have no idea. So yeah, go ahead and lob a bomb. Pow. Oop. Come on, Link. Link loves to climb just random objects. I wish there was a more deliberate way to make him climb, like you had to tap a button to get the climbing going or something. Because I gotta tell you guys how many times I've latched onto items when I'm just, you know, and started climbing when I'm just trying to run for my life or I don't know. It's not okay. Alright, anyway, maybe the next Zelda game will have a mechanic like that where it's more deliberate. So yeah, go ahead and work our way over to this little area here. There's going to be a little bad boy nest right here where I'm facing. And then another one coming up over here where the water is. And I don't know why I'm running around. I know there's nothing over there. I guess I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, he came out to say hello. I'm never going to use that throwing spear, so I figured, why not? Okay, try to get those headshots if you can. You know, it's worth taking an extra second or two to kind of slow that aim down enough to really lock on, but it's nice when you get those headshots. Even if it doesn't kill them like that, it'll get them stunned, gives you a minute to run over there and do whatever you want to do. Get a lucky sneak strike. Sometimes when they're knocked out, you can get behind them and they won't know you're there, which is pretty funny, I think. Alright, next treasure chest. Nice. This is all for rupees, folks. All for rupees. I'm going to sell every single opal and every single amber that I've got the moment I get to Kakariko. Kakariko, whatever. Alright, now there is a boss type enemy coming up. He's kind of like the little mini boss of the Great Plateau here. And I didn't recommend, you know, worrying about him in my first playthrough, but guys, it's easier than you think. And honestly, I kind of wish I had just shown it. That way people could have decided, you know, on their own. So I'm going to show it this time. Again, it's a lot easier than you would think, so I'm going to walk you through that if you're not big on the boss type enemies in the game. For one, it's going to start really pushing that KO stat, that hidden stat I keep talking about. And Talus's count too. Not only that, the fringe benefit is you get gemstones that you can sell off. So really, it's not just KO stat that you're pushing, it's also your rupees that you're pushing. So yeah, he's right out there just hanging out. Taking his little nap. Naparoo. And we're going to go say, wake up! And we're going to give him a very rude awakening. Now, I thought there was a blue plant here, but I'm not seeing it lighting up. Give me a minute while I locate that, because it's an important item. Make sure I didn't accidentally get it. Oh, I might have accidentally already gotten it. Never mind. Alright, so anyway, yeah, from here, I'm just going to kind of skirt the... You know what? Yeah, I'm going to kind of go off and carve out this little area, because there's lootables here. There's, like, mushrooms. Now, down here where Mr. Bossman is, there's a lot of mushrooms, but we're going to avoid that until after he's dead. Because I want to catch him by surprise. And that'll give us a minute to kind of get super close to him. And we're going to climb him. So as long as it's not raining, you can do this. Even, you know, new players can do this. I would still recommend dropping that hard save, because things can go wrong, and, you know, they have. So, just, you know, keep that in mind, you know, death is part of the game, it's part of the learning experience. I always say, like, death is a learning experience. So, yes, I use death. You know, sometimes I'll put down a save, and I'll just go in there to die. I'll just stand there, run around as long as I can, you know, of course, but I'm just there to watch. I'm there to observe, and it kind of helps me get the mid-battle jitters out of the way, so to speak, you know, and then when I am actually able to go in there and try to do it, I feel like I'm a little calmer. Another thing that helps me in combat, guys, is I find the music and the sound effects can be overstimulating. So, you know, if my heart's pumping and, you know, my fingers are fumbling all over the place like two monkeys with a football on ice, because that's what it looks like when I look down and my fingers are fumbling all over the place. Yeah, turning that volume off or muting it, it does make a difference. You know, I still drop that hard save, but then I can go in there and just kind of focus on what he's doing and watching what he's doing, and then looking for my windows, etc. So just a couple of tips there for you folks that might not like the combat so much. Rule 1, always drop that save, because there's no penalty for death. If you die, game goes back to the save, no harm, no foul. And if there's an autosave in between, then, and you know, when you die, you can always reload the hard save you put down. So there's no penalty for death. Now, I know that's easier said than done, because when you're in there and, you know, your heart starts racing, it's a different story. But just know, you know, there's nothing to lose, basically, is what I'm getting at. Maybe a little bit of sweat. Not gonna lie. But yeah, beyond that, not really anything to lose. Alright guys, now I was able to cook a mid-level elixir. I got lucky with a bonus, but if you didn't get that, I'm still gonna... You know what, I'm not gonna use an attack elixir, I'll just show you straight up. And I don't know if this is carryover, but in TOTK you guys taught me that there was a damage bonus here on the sledgehammers against any kind of Talus, and that made perfect sense. It's a sledgehammer, it's made to break rocks, why wouldn't it? But I never knew that, so I don't know if there's a damage bonus here in Breath of the Wild. I used this on my dry run, it got him killed pretty quick, but then I used it on one off the Great Plateau, and it did not kill him quick at all. So this time I'm going to use this just to kind of see what kind of damage I do. And what I like to do is just kind of run up on him, and he's going to kick you off, and that's okay, because where you fall, that's where you can climb. So yeah, just go ahead and latch on. Okay, yeah, maybe there was a damage bonus there. And he's going to throw you off at some point. Oh yeah, wow, look at that difference, guys. Okay, so that's what I was doing wrong. Some of the other gemstones got in the way, and you could see it barely did any damage there. Uh-oh. So anyway, these are dodgeable. Just like you almost saw me do. I almost got hung up on that rock there. But, ouch. But the damage is super minimal, half a heart. So again, it's not catastrophic. What makes it worse is, you know, all the music is pumping. And it's just kind of a scary fight, you know? But yeah, again, you can do this. You just might have to take a few stabs at it before you actually have success. The reason I recommended avoiding this on my first playthrough is because I never did have success with it. So that just goes to show you, you know, it's not a right-away thing. You're not going to just pick it up and execute it perfectly the first time. So, you know, drop the saves, and honestly, if it starts getting frustrating, step away, go off to other things for the rest of the day. Come back tomorrow. Because when we're sleeping overnight, sometimes we'll think back to, you know, oh, I could have done this, or maybe I could have ran that way when he did this, that, or the other, and, you know, things will start clicking more and more every time you attempt it. So again, it might take a few days, a few different stabs at it, but just remember the things I mentioned there, especially with the muting, and hopefully that'll help you out a little bit with these boss fights. But you saw, guys, I got a ruby, like, worth it. I got the KO credit pushing, worth it. So yeah, it's worth a shot is what I'm getting at. Even if you don't have success, it's still a learning experience. And then yeah, these Taluses, they're all over Hyrule. Like, everywhere. And that's just gemstones and KO credit for the taking, if you can figure out how to get them killed. Alright guys, some more fireflies, and again, you know, I'm trying to think of time and brevity here. I think I need at least 15, maybe even more, because there's a side quest in Kakariko we need these. See, I guess after I get my stealth suit, I'll be seeing them, and I'll just get them that way. Because right now it just takes too doggone long, you know, walking super slow. Okay, we come to our next bad boy nest here, and guys, we're going to need these. The reason I keep, you know, frantically looking around for these glowing blue nightshade things is because when we get our super suit, oh nuts. Really? When we get our super suit out of Kakariko, we're going to need those materials for the upgrading. So yeah, might as well start collecting them now. You can get a little bit of a head start here on the Great Plateau. And then, I just couldn't help myself, guys. They were glowing. And we'll get plenty more too along our route here, off the Great Plateau. But nonetheless, it's a good idea to get a head start here while you can. Pretty much anything that you can get on the Great Plateau, get it while the getting is good. I always like to run over toward the weapons because that's where they're running. So I kind of like try to beat them there, so to speak, and I find it's just easier to stand there and swing the sword. Get them dead that way. Seared steak. This is one of the rare occasions I'm going to use a weapon to break open them crates. Oh, well, bye-bye. Whoops. But yeah, guys, I need the arrows. Ooh, that sword's getting low. We're going to have to rectify that. Which, that's okay. I've got the monster equivalents. They just break kind of quick, so I definitely, you know, prefer to stock the metal weapons. TOTK, it's like backwards. All the metal stuff breaks fast and the wooden stuff lasts forever. Kind of weird how they did that. Alright, I'm going to head back over this way just to kind of, again, finish out whatever looting. I think there's more stamella mushrooms, the stamina. And I just saw beetles flying away. Because I'm not, you know, taking my time and looking. But yeah, you can definitely get more beetles here, more lizards here, which I'm already sure you've seen a couple running away, because again, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, definitely more stamella mushrooms. More herbs, which you can eat raw for another heart, which is really nice. This way, if you, you know, accidentally run out of the roasted stuff. It's nice to know there's something in there that you didn't have to cook. That's helpful. See, I always take the time to get my high roll herbs for no other reason than the heart replenishment. Alright guys, just to show you where I wound up on the map here, we kind of, you know, looted around this little pond. There's another Korok seed coming up. It should be up and to my left somewhere. Probably over there, but I'll circle back around to that point here in just a moment. Alright, I think I'm pretty thoroughly complete here. We do have another nice little hidey hole for a chest. This one you have to look up. It is up there, and this is not going to be an easy climb. So, you know, I'm just going to, for the sake of brevity, you know, speed things up and eat the stam. But, yeah, you might want to just, you know, slow climb this one, because, again, it's quite a climb. And always remember, Link gets a surprising amount of altitude on that final jump, so always jump one more time just to see what happens. And I can already see I did not quite make it, but I was close. And this is why I stock the sliver meals, because it really cuts down on the wastefulness of what a bigger meal would have been as far as the stamina replenishment. Alright guys, and from here we're going to go right over this way. Now notice that great big glowing blue light. Yeah, that's later. That's Lord of the Mountain. That's a lot of fun. You can see that from like all the way across Hyrule. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, from time to time that'll glow at night, and there's something fun over there to go do. A little bit of looting to go do. It's a lot of fun. One of those little Easter eggs. Alright guys, there is another chest here. Ouch. I knew that was coming. See if I can scoop this up real quick. It might be kind of out of the way a little bit. And I just realized I did not stamp that pillar. I have got to get more on the ball with my stamps. Alright. Now, there is a shrine nearby. We're going to go get that. I mentioned there were these little, like, spokes that we could follow right off the Great Plateau to help us kind of get ourselves better going here. And Spirit Orbs, aka Stamina Vessels, is part of that. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I cannot wait to get my Sheikah Slate upgraded so those bombs recharge faster. What was that? Nothing. Okay, we got some apple trees. And again, guys, everything sells. You got 100 apples, you got a gold rupee, my friend. So here we go for some more combat. Make sure your bow is good to go. Because there's definitely going to be a headshot here. Wow, they're still sleeping. Oh, I take that back. The nice thing about the soldier's bow, you don't have to worry about the headshots. But when they're blues, that's a different story. Alright, so we really raided this just for this chest here. Very nice. Skull chest. Alright, I mentioned a Korok seed on a ledge. We're going to go ahead and get that now, because we're going to be in good position for it. It's a little bit of a climb to kind of get up there, but it's manageable. And it's the first of its kind that we've seen in my playthrough so far. It's what I call a puzzle block configuration. And basically there's two of these, and you gotta make them look the same. It's easier said than done sometimes. Sometimes the block is hard to find. Sometimes the other pattern is hard to locate. Sometimes it's just such a big complex, it's hard to figure out which one is missing. But either way, that's how they all work. You just have to match the puzzles to look the same. So from here, guys, I am going to hit that shrine. And again, that's just for the spirit orb. Not only that, there's a weapon in there. Speaking of, you know, upgrading our weapons as we go on this playthrough, and I'm not sure I knew that was there. Nice. Speaking of, you know, upgrading weapons and stuff along the playthrough, guys, it's a soldier equivalent. I think it's a little more durable. It's the Rito weapon. And it's fun, it's good, you know, it cuts every bit as deep as our soldier's broadsword has been doing, but you'll see the horse head sticking up there. We're kind of sort of heading that way. And guys, that's a whole separate thing. That's a stable, there's a lot to do there. We're definitely going to come back to this. There's a lot to do here, there's a lot to hit. But we just don't need it right this minute. But trust me, we're going to come back real soon. Now, I'm not going to be in a great big hurry this time to beat the Blood Moon out to the rainforest. I'm going to take my time more. I'm going to make sure we're better prepared. I'm going to make sure we have a little bit more inventory this time. So, you know, I'm not sweating the Blood Moon on this playthrough. There's going to be another Blood Moon following that one pretty quickly. So, you know, I'm going to get my Blood Moon cooking done anyway. Those weapons are going to regen after the Blood Moon anyway. The royal weapons, specifically what I'm talking about, off the Hinox and off some Lizzles. Lots of royal weapons out there, but again, every Blood Moon, those regen. So regardless of which Blood Moon I make it out there for, it's all good in the neighborhood. Alright guys, so welcome to the shrine. First things first, I like to save on my arrows and my bow durability. I like to use bombs whenever possible, so go ahead and activate that switch however you'd like. Bow and arrow works just fine. Go ahead and put this orb out of the way. We're going to need that here in just a moment, but for now, notice this little pathway has opened up for our access. Go ahead and scoop up this chest. We're going to need that. And then that weapon I was just talking about is right here in this here chest. And I don't believe I have a space for it just yet. Feather Edge, baby. Same attack power. Like I said, I think it might be a little bit more durable. I really haven't tested that. It just kind of feels like I have it a little longer. So don't quote me. I know there's data miners out there that might be looking at the numbers differently. You know, I can only go by what it feels like sometimes. So, yeah, so anyway, at this point, we're definitely going to need a bow and an arrow to reach that switch. Go ahead and hit that one more time. And guys, this step is very important. Go ahead and unlock this door. Reason being is when we flip the wall again, we're going to be getting launched, and we need that hole to be open so we can actually get up into the air here. So from here, go ahead and grab your ball, play a little bit of basketball. And one more time, we're going to activate the switch. No pun intended. And then that ball should automatically find its way in a hole over there, and that's what automatically activates the concrete launcher thingy. Once the concrete launcher thingy is working, go ahead and take your bow out at the top of this up of the launch, and you are good to go to get out of here. So folks, I genuinely hope that helped you all out. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment, I always appreciate that. And as always, until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting. And now I get coffee. Hey, Sean RF, good to see you this morning. Hope I didn't miss you there. I'm not always on chat window here, so I apologize for the delay in response sometimes. No Satori Mountain yet. We're getting there. Yeah, we need to go there, if for nothing else, our Dragon Bone Moblin clubs. So yeah, we're getting there. Gotta love my Gold Rush Mountain. I had not done that yet in my dry run. Okay, from here, guys, we're going to start using the Cryonis trial for a lot of this farming here on the Great Plateau. Huh, that's interesting, Marigold, because when I did my dry run last night, the rock loot was there. The rupees were there, the lizards were there. Huh. Yeah, I'm really gonna have to pay attention to this. Oh, gotcha, Sean. So you thought I was at Satori. Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the terrain can look the same. Yes, true that, Charnarf. The archer enemies do get the headshot bonuses. I can usually one-hit any archer with any bow, so it's a nice thing. Okay, Charnarf, so you're saying the damage multiplier for the sledgehammers don't work on the Luminous. That makes sense. Because I was really pumping damage here on the Great Plateau, but when I went right off the Great Plateau, over here where that Majora's Mask is, there's a Talus right there in the water, and it's luminous. And yeah, I was barely nicking that thing. Like, I was just swinging that sledgehammer, barely doing any damage. So thank you for mentioning it, because I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. So noted. Apparently sledgehammers are not the weapon of choice for anything luminous. See, guys, you learn stuff every day in this game. That's another thing I really love about Breath of the Wild. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get myself back out of the picture. Peace out, Home Scout. And I'll be off chat window again here for a few. So guys, notice there's a treasure chest. Nice, pretty. Now be aware this water hurts, and it hurts a lot. So yeah, nudge yourself over there during your flight so you don't overshoot the ice block. As a matter of fact, you might want to put down several, you know, before flying over here. Because I can't tell you how many times I've missed my target and kind of wished I had another lifeline there. But this water will really zap the hearts out of your life force. I mean, fast. It's worse than most enemies we've encountered so far. And that's saying something. Like, the Talus didn't do as much damage as this water will do. To really put that in perspective. So anyway, normally I like coming over here at night because you get more ice bats and spawners popping in for the mats that we need for armor upgrading. But guys, for now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of continue on with the looting spree. There's a lot to do up here. And again, we got our warm doublet on, so this shouldn't be a problem here, getting up here and doing some of this. In the snow biome, we should be completely temperature protected on the entire Great Plateau as long as you're wearing your warm doublet. No more need for protection elixirs, which is kind of nice. I missed. That time I got the head. Alright, I need to get better on my headshots here. Ooh, arrows. Thank you. So now you could get really fun and, you know, use magnesis and drop those metal blocks on the bobkins. It's a great time. But honestly, I need to start using some of these weapons up. And since he's got fire and that's like danger, I like to have a spear. Uh-oh. A spear because it keeps things at arm's length. So yeah, that fire weapon, that can really put the damage to you. Any kind of weapon that's on fire can really put the damage to you. So spears are my weapon of choice usually for a situation like that, or ice arrows because it puts the fire out and freezes the enemy at the same time. A little fringe benefit there. Oh, I didn't pick up a spear yet? And again, getting back to my rule of try to save the weapons whenever possible. To open your crates. Another reason I really like those roasted bass as being one of the items in my inventory that I use for heart replenishment, folks. You get a lot of them for free. You don't have to roast the fish, it's already roasted. They're in crates, Hinox will spit them out, you know, when you kill them. They just kind of seem to be everywhere. So you're picking them up anyway. They're in your inventory anyway. Might as well just use that as the primary. Alright, got ourselves another treasure chest. Booyah. Alright, moving right along. There's another chest right over here on top of this tower thingamajigger. Thingamahoozy. Whatchamacallit. The thing. It makes you wonder what these were constructed for, because there's no ladder. You know, my first thought was, oh yeah, you know, the Hyruleans, they needed archery points, you know, to do their work. Then I was like, wait, how did they get up there? Alright, got your arrows. And really nothing else on this side of things other than this bad boy nest. And guys, this is a good archery situation. So I'm going to try to get some bullet time in here and take out at least the... actually, we're going to bump our bow up for this. Because there's a blue here. So yeah, you want to get as many dead on here as possible for now. And that'll really help out with this fist fight. Now if you can be quiet, you might get away with getting on top of this tree. As long as you land and you don't move, and the archer doesn't see you. And then once he's dead, they're all going to kind of walk over there with question marks, see what's going on. It's kind of funny. And then from here you can just kind of pluck off the reds. And then the blue... Uh-oh, where'd the blue go? Where did it go? Alright, he's down there. Well, while we got high ground, we might as well get our chests. I try not to knock the blue off, though, because he's got a weapon I want. So, like, if he falls down the waterfall, it's tough to get that weapon back. Okay, now, if you didn't fly to this like I did, there's another way up here. You can shoot the ropes out with bow and arrow, and this platform will fall down and create a ramp. Where you at, Poppy? Pow! I didn't get the sneak strike. That's okay. Again, sometimes when you stun him, you can get the sneak strike. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I try anyway, usually, just because it's a one-shot deal and it's done. You don't even really have to fight him. And there's the broadsword I came here for. So now we got 2 metal weapons. And guys, that one did us justice. That got us through the majority of the Great Plateau, so that's not a bad deal. Okay, there's a cooking pot there. Feel free to cook something up if you so need it. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and sidestep. And again, water. Danger, Will Robinson. So yeah, we're definitely going to avoid the water at all costs. Oh yeah, don't forget your monster parts. Very nice. There's really not much else going on down this direction other than a couple of choo-choos that might pop up. It's really not worth the time. You know, you're walking in snow, going super slow. But what we are going to do is get across this water via bridge. And of course we got to build our own. And I just had a flashback to TOTK. I'm like, oh, I could fuse these. No. No, you cannot. Okay, so you can pick up one door. It doesn't matter which one you grab, but just go ahead and plop it over here somewhere. We're going to need that to get a tricky little Korok seed that's hiding under the bridge. Pretty much right under where this metal block is sitting. And I don't know, maybe there's other ways to do this, but I always just try to wedge this thing in here. It's tricky, and I'm not going to lie. But I try to wedge this thing in here so that the upper left corner is kind of on that little wooden post that sticks up over there. I might have even missed the post, but it looks like it's staying, so yeah, we're good to go. And then you should get an icon to examine. And again, guys, it's tough. You might have to play with that one for a while, but it's definitely there for the taking. And again, it's not nighttime, so no bats. For right now, I guess what I'm going to do is jump down this waterfall. And again, guys, just the stuff right off the Great Plateau here. Some of this stuff is very worthwhile to come after. And down here, we're going to have fish. Lots of fish. You might see an Octorok. Go ahead and kill the Octorok if it's nearby, because they have deadly accurate aim. And he's just going to keep pelting you upside the side of your nugget. It's going to get super frustrating. And you're going to wish him dead. But I don't see one, so it's awesome. Now we're going to take advantage of our Cryonis. And guys, there should be plenty of Staminoka bass here, and these are good ingredients. This is going to help with our stamina meals. One fish gives you a full wheel. So yeah, it's worth every second of your time to come get these fish. And they're here. You know, you might not see them right away, but they're around here somewhere. Just kind of look around the lake a little bit. They're definitely here. And I'm not sure what's over there. I'm going to go investigate because I see more stuff jumping around. Might just be regular baths. It's tough to tell sometimes in the waterfalls because the water's a funny color. But it's all good in the neighborhood. That is still heart replenishment in my book. Alright guys, from here I am going to go ahead and get this Korok seed. Now this is another configuration we haven't quite seen yet. I'll walk you through this if you're new to the game. So basically you gotta play basketball, but it's too far away for us to actually pitch the rock in there. So we need like an object to help give it a boost, so to speak. So then from here you can just toss the rock basically on top of that thing and it should fall right in the hole. Because you saw how perfectly that worked the first time. But eventually you'll get the rock in the hole. Alright guys, good to go. Now again, if you want to do some more fishing, feel free. I wouldn't venture out too far just yet. There is a shrine down here, but honestly that's a combat shrine. And I'm going to wait until we get good attack power meals before we attempt that. Not only that, we're going to get a guardian weapon before we attempt that. He's going to die very quickly. So yeah, we're going to come back to that. Just make mental note of it. It is there. And we are definitely going to go ahead and scoop that up. Also, you might see some darners and some crickets here. Darners is for cold weather protection. So yeah, we're going to need these for good strong elixirs in conjunction with the butterflies. And then the crickets, guys, that's stamina. So, you know, you have to walk around painfully, slowly to collect this stuff. But it is here on this little edge. I do recommend you take the time to do that also. Alright guys, Cryonis Trial. I'm telling you, we're going to be here a minute. This shrine is going to be the launch point for several areas. And thanks to the power of the warm doublet, we are good to go. Okay, you might have noticed this ice block sitting here. That is, in fact, a Korok seed. And for this one, just to speed things up a little bit, I kind of like to sacrifice some of these bundles of wood I've been collecting. I know we need like tons of them, but it will help speed this up a bit. And if you're real good, you could actually aim your arrow, right at the ice block and the wood, and it'll really like speed the ice block up, as you just saw. And it'll light the wood on fire, so it's like better use of the arrow than what I did there. But again, just to speed things up for us, I'm just going to go ahead and sacrifice the arrows. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. How small will it go? There it is. Now guys, here's another point you're going to want to save that game. Save that game. There's a Hinox down here. Now if you're new to the game, I gotta be honest with you, these things are terrifying. I'll never forget my first playthrough. I was just running around casually. I found the three brothers. Didn't know it at the time. But, you know, I rolled up on this area and I hear this funny sound. I'm like, what's that noise? It's a funny squeaky sound. But no, it wasn't a funny squeaky sound, it was him snoring. And I was like, where is this thing? So I turned around and there it was. I was like, whoa! I froze. I was completely petrified. I didn't know what to do. I probably stood there for about a minute and a half. And then I slowly egressed, tiptoed away, and then I sprinted and hauled butt out of there. So anyway, that was my first encounter with a Hinox. Now, we're not going in here to kill this. The reason I say put down that hard save is in case, you know, things go horribly wrong here. But just like we've been walking around painfully slowly, you know, to collect insects and stuff, you can actually walk around on top of the Hinox painfully slowly, and he will not wake up. The trick is you gotta land without moving. You've just gotta let Link fall on his belly. So yeah, if you're walking around or cranking on the joystick when you hit his belly, you know, that can wake him up. So again, we're just going to get real low here, aim, and just let him land. Now notice I got question marks here. That means I can steal these weapons without actually even having to deal with this dude. So for you new players out there who just might want some, you know, real good strong weaponry without the fear of death in battle and all the fun stuff that comes along with all those things, this is definitely the way to go. Okay, so again, walk around painfully, slowly. And he shouldn't wake up. I say shouldn't. Sometimes he'll slap you with his hand while he's scratching his belly or something. That can get him to wake up, and that's not okay. But for now, since I'm here, I am just going to go ahead and run off and let him wake up. Otherwise, I could have just fast traveled away and not even woken him up. But I do want to activate this travel gate so that when we come back here later, I don't have to take the time to fly back down here again. This is already taken care of. Just to show you on the map where I wound up there, where that Hinox was. So from here, go ahead and once again warp back up to our crown. Oh, before I do that, let's show you the spoils. There it is, guys. Knight's level weapon. Booyah, baby! Like, at this point in the game, this thing is absolutely enormous. You're just going to be able to cut through pretty much whatever's in your way, you know, early game, and it's going to be a beautiful weapon. So, I mean, it's 10 more than what we've been using. You really can't beat that. Alright guys, from there, I'm going to once again kind of jump off the Great Plateau for some fun stuff. And this time we're going to turn left, and we're looking for a Korok seed. And I can never get this right, so I have to like look around. Oh, there it is. So you had another one of those puzzle block configurations. This one's hiding a little bit. Go ahead and scoop that sucker up. And from here, I'm actually going to keep on going. Just keep swimming. And we're going to wind up kind of around the Great Plateau to the southwestern corner, so to speak. And there's reasons for that. There's a lot here that we can just kind of grab and go. And one of those things is another Korok seed, but also Swift Violets. That is a good thing to start getting a head start on for suit upgrades later on. There should be a couple here if I'm not mistaken. There's one. The other one's going to be right here where this Korok seed is. That's another configuration we have not yet seen in the playthrough. And I like these. This is why I really like the bombs in BotW. Oh, I don't think I got all three. Bummer. I'll do it the old-fashioned way, I suppose. Speed things up. Sometimes you can get all three with a bomb and it's over quick. Sometimes not. Alright, and there's insects here. This is going to be the cold stuff. So you're going to see like blue butterflies and blue darners. Grab those too, because that's warm weather protection if you see them. Of course, I don't see them right now in my game, but they're usually around. Oh yeah, this is a new creature. So if he connects with that club, it's really going to hurt. Battle these if you want. You don't have to by any means, but again, you know, KO credit, getting monster parts going. I am going to take them out. And these cook up just like all the other elixirs, you know, the fang is the tooth, that's the B grade, the horn is the C grade. And then they have guts also, which we're going to need for the radiant set upgrading when the time comes. But the stalls don't drop the guts, they only drop the horns and the tooths. And honestly, I'm not quite sure what kind of weapon that is. Yeah, why not? They're easy enough to kill. That's actually going to be a decent two-handed swinging weapon at this point in the game. Alright. Now I kind of still want my axe. Axe me no more questions. But I can also use that as an axe. So yeah, we're good. Alright, from here I am just going to jump down and get a quick cave for a gemstone. Actually, no, scratch that on the cave. We're not going to do the cave just yet. We're going to go over here where the skull is. We're going to fly past the skull. Actually, no, we're not going to do that yet either. We're going to go over here. There's a shrine we're going to get. But for right now, there's things that I want to get you guys loaded up with before we proceed. And I wanted to say there was another swift violator too. Yep, right there. And then just kind of take this little land bridge across. We're going to climb this. Oh, and this is a great moment for either bombs or a spear. I like to use bombs, but these things can backfire and actually hit Link, so you got to kind of run away quickly. Because if the bomb shoots the dead bat over toward you, it'll electrify you, it knocks out a couple of hearts, it's pretty painful. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and climb this. And there is some combat to do here, which we can actually... Oh, nuts. Which we can actually do because we've got the weapons for it now. I thought there was a resting point here. Aha! I just didn't quite aim right. Alright, so yet another Korok seed. You're gonna see these throughout Hyrule. Put the ball in the hole, just like Happy Gilmore. Send him home, Happy. Send him home. Alright, and the wolves, guys. Now, you don't have to use bombs. You have to hit them twice with bombs to actually kill them. But they're worth the time to kill because they drop better meat. I'm looking for raw gourmet meat in particular, which you can sell to Trot at that stable I just got us near with that one shrine. For 100 rupees apiece, which is awesome. That's a lot of, that's a lot of rupee power, especially early game. So yeah, another thing I like about this little area down here is the wolves. For nothing other than the meat. The raw gourmet meat. I need to learn more patience in my climbing. I suppose it all works out in the end, but still. Alright. So this is where another treasure chest is going to be with another real good weapon. I know I'm getting out away from the Great Plateau just a little ways here, but it's worth it. And wow, I'm really getting to the point I need to... choose wisely with my weapon right here. So I always like to keep at least one good wooden thing on my person at all times. In the middle of a thunderstorm, you need wooden weapons, because you'll get zapped otherwise. So yeah, this is where I really wish, we could start increasing inventory earlier. But anyway, yeah, there's some other goodies here, but we're going to come back and loot this area more thoroughly. For right now, I just really wanted the weapon, because, early game weapons is where it's all at. Now, there's another Swift Violet there. I'll take a minute and get that. But the other thing I really wanted to come here for was the ice arrows, because, guys, ice arrows, it's an absolutely huge benefactor in combat. So just like with the Hinox, land, don't walk around. Then you can walk painfully, slowly, they'll stay asleep. But again, guys, we have the weapons for this. So if you want to, do a little bit of combat here, have fun with some blues, drop that hard save. That never hurts anybody. And then, yeah, have some fun. If they're sleeping, sneak strike them. If not, break out one of these amazing weapons we just scooped up, and you'll see just how quickly they die. Wake up! Rise and shine! Oh, that's a spear. That's gonna hurt. So yeah, we just need to hurry up and, go in, swing, and get him killed as quickly as possible. Oh, what do I got for shields? That can go. Actually, that's probably better than that garbage. And this is where I still got a sledgehammer. Okay, it's 9, but they don't last very long, so honestly that soldier spear is probably better. But one thing I like about this little spot is the crate loot. All sorts of just random goodies. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this nest. That's a bow we haven't seen yet. It's got better attack power than, say, a traveler's bow, but they break awful quick. But it is basically the monster equivalent of a soldier's bow. But I've got a couple, so I'm not going to worry about it, because again, they just break so fast. And then again, I might as well tech refresh, I suppose. Just keep in mind, it's only going to last a few shots before it's trash. And there are some more goodies around here. I'm really starting to get shiny rock. Again, I want to come back through here and loot more thoroughly. When we go to Gerudo, that's going to come real soon, guys. For right now, I just want to hit this shrine. It was really about the weapon, the ice arrows, and the shrine that I came here for initially. So I'm going to try to stick to that. Not only that, this bad boy nest, it's a doozy. There's blacks in there. We haven't seen blacks yet in this game. But it's like the blue blobkin, only tankier, and they hurt a lot more. So I'm going to show you guys how to deal with that kind of stuff here, you know, when we come back through here. But we'll be ready for that, guys. We'll have better armor. We'll have better weapons. We'll have attack power. Oh, hardy lizard! I tried to walk slow. Come back! Hardy lizards are awesome. You can make hardy elixirs with those. I really wished I was able to get that. And they're around. You just gotta walk super slow until we get our stealth. Alright guys, here's a shrine that gets a lot of people stuck. I too was stuck in here for days. Okay, it was probably hours, but it felt like days. And I probably made a comment like it's easy, it's straightforward. Yes, in the sense you can't get lost. There's only one way to go, but it's the puzzles that made it tricky. So don't feel bad if you came to the video for help here on this shrine, because yes, it definitely gets a lot of people stuck. Okay, so the first one is go ahead and shoot the ball in the hole, and you got to aim and kind of lead that a little bit. You notice I give it a little bit of lead time. I shot the ball when it was still kind of back here around that crack. And that helps it go in the hole, and it doesn't always go right in the first time. Sometimes you have to shoot that in there more than once to get it to actually work. Okay, here's another little tricky part. And if you can get the headshot, great. If not, you know, no harm, no foul. But that just kind of gets the Guardian out of the way so that you can... Ooh, cool action shot. So that you can get the ball in the hole. And then the other guy don't bother killing because you can't get the monster parts anyway, so there's kind of like no point in really killing them anyway other than to get the guy out of your way for the ball. And this next one is going to be a treasure chest. Go ahead and ready your magnesis before you get on the moving part. And get ready to grab it. Just like so. Alright guys, this gets a little bit tricky. The moving platform is not your friend. So what we're going to have to do is just kind of wait for a block or blocks to come out. And Link is going to walk just slightly faster than the blocks are moving, so that also throws this whole thing off. Go ahead and set your ball down here, and we're going to shut this laser beam off with stasis. And then sadly, we're just going to kind of have to wait here a little while for more blocks to come. And, you know, turn off this next laser beam so that we can proceed. Now, I had some really bad luck there in timing. I'm spending a lot more time in the kill zone than I'd prefer to be spending in the kill zone. But yeah, as soon as those blocks turn off this beam, we are good to go. Go ahead and toss that on in like you're playing some basketball, and that should open the door. And we are out of here. So folks, I genuinely hope that helps you all out. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment, that is always appreciated. And until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting. Hey Termina, welcome! Yes, another BOTW run. Yeah, Marigold. Hinox. Hinox killed me many times. There was a lot of death in learning how to kill Hinox in my life. There was much death. Hey Wanda, hello! Playing Ocarina of Time. Okay, cool, cool. No, Jim, I'm so sorry about that. I forgot today was Friday. So, in my not being with it, I forgot, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I said I would do the noon streams for our friends in Europe. And like I said, I just kind of lost track of what day it was yesterday, because my toes were wiggling and it was taking all the blood away from my brain. So yeah, guys, this whole area, it's got the cold darners, the cold butterflies, you know, feel free to scoop up your loot. I'm going to come back through here again and loot real thoroughly with stealth, so that'll be much more time efficient later on. Just kind of pointing out, you know, there are some things around. But for right now, let's get back to our Great Plateau. And I think I just missed nighttime, which doesn't make me happy, because I've been waiting for nighttime. Hey, Brian Austin, welcome. Yes, the bombs. The bombs are awesome in BOTW. Yeah, no dazzle fruit, Wanda. No dazzle fruit. That was a dazzling comment. Pheasant of Hyrule. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. It's going awesome. Definitely digging the BOTW. Yep, Switch 2 indeed, Termina. Ah, I got you, Marigold. Yeah, that's tough. Trying to hit those eye shots on those Hinox because they're moving around, they cover their eye, it gets frustrating. Yeah, that was... I found out very quickly that was not the way to go. I probably lost about, you know, 20 or so lives trying to figure out the eyeball was not the way to go. I was persistent, if nothing else, but yeah, it did not work out well. Alright guys, I'll go ahead and get back into some gameplay. Toodles. Toodles. Alright, and again, I missed nighttime, so I don't want to loot this area right now. Because of that, I'm not going to get the ice bat wing spawning in, so we're going to come back to like this little area. There's a little hidden loot cache over here. A lot of fun stuff to do, but I'm just not quite there for right now. I'm going to keep kind of going off these little spokes off the Great Plateau for some more goodies. And for you DLC users... Whoa, mama, this is going to be awesome. As a matter of fact, I should have probably went here first before I just went to that area where the bad boy nest was, so that you could see the power of the Majora's Mask. Don't worry, though, there will still be plenty of opportunities to demonstrate that, but wow, this Majora's Mask, so much fun! And this is right off the Great Plateau. Now, there is a treasure chest over there, but I'm not going to get it. There's a traveler's bow inside that little ruin in a chest. But it's a leveling chest. So again, as we push that KO stat, that'll eventually become a royal weapon. I know it's a good quick spot to go. A nice quick bow. And, get a bow, you know, when I'm in real quick need. Without having to run around Hyrule looking for one. So again, guys, if you can save your arrows, take full advantage of the bombs. And then right below, more goodies. Did I stamp that bad boy nest? That was probably the ice arrow, that was probably the scimitar, that was probably the rupees. Okay, I think we're good. So yeah, I mentioned, you know, we're going to do things just a little bit different in this playthrough. Part of that is I missed some things that I probably should have taken the time to get while I was here, you know, on the first run. So we're gonna kind of side skirt this lake just a little bit. Last time I just kind of went right for it. That's where Majora's Mask is, right over there. Just to show you a good map reference for that. But again, I'm gonna sidestep that just for a quick second. There's some stuff to do over here. Some farming, some looting, some mushrooms, some apples, but that's not the big part of it. What I'm really looking for is another Korok seed, and to point out that there's this little funny formation that juts up through the trees here. And you might want to make mental note of that, because later on there's like a quest where we have to find the memories. And one of the memories is right by that rock. But again, yeah, just it's mostly for the lootables that are in here. Mostly apples, and then of course the Korok seed, if I can figure out where he is. And it shouldn't be super easy to get lost here, because the Great Plateau is right there, the lake is right there. Those are two real big landmarkers to kind of keep you on track as to, you know, getting lost. And here is good friend Korok, without a rock to put on top of his head to punish him for his insolence. The horses, yeah, we're going to get to that, guys. Horse catching, it's coming. It's coming soon. Now, these moblins, they hurt. They hurt bad. I like the two-handed swinging weapons, because you can kind of anticipate they're coming. And the second swing will, like, throw them. But again, you have to kind of anticipate that and start swinging a little early. Because if you take too long, he'll connect with you. And then it won't be fun anymore. It'll be deadly. So yeah, you know, just kind of take your time with these guys. If there's only one at a time, they're not terrible, but if there's two or three, you can start feeling like you're getting swamped pretty quickly. And the reds will not drop the guts. Only blues or higher will drop the guts. So really, there probably wasn't much point in killing him after all. His weapon was garbage. But yeah, again, I really just came over there for the Korok seed. And now we're going to kind of head back toward that lake. But I'm going to go to the left. And again, guys, you don't have to do this. Especially new players, you might want to forego this. But for you veterans out there, I kind of feel like we need to hit this stone talus. And I'm going to show you guys kind of another way to do it. Pretty much the same way I did it on the Great Plateau. You know, I just wait until he gives me an opportunity to climb him. Now, if it's raining, it's going to be a problem. So if it's raining, we cannot necessarily get away with this because it's tough to climb him in the rain. Okay, another reason I came over here was for a handy-dandy treasure chest. Notebook, notebook. And it's like right out here in the water somewhere. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Not only this treasure chest, but there's actually another Korok seed here, believe it or not. So yeah, just a lot of good reasons to come here. Not only that, the fishing, guys. You can spend some time in this lake doing some fishing. You're going to find a fish we haven't seen yet, hardy bass. And, you know, that's heart replenishment, so that's another reason I really wished I had found, or I had gotten my hands on that hardy lizard. I could have made a pretty cool heart elixir with a fish and that lizard. Alright guys, when we got another configuration we have not yet seen, but bombs still work as long as they're low enough and within the reach of the bomb. Alright, moving right along. Here comes that Talus, guys. And again, for you new folks, this might be a bit intimidating. It's tougher than the one we killed on the Great Plateau by far. Reason being is, as Sean RF pointed out, we don't get the sledgehammer damage because it's a luminous Talus. And it doesn't say that. It actually just says stone Talus when we activate it. But it's definitely luminous, judging by the stone node that sticks up out of its back. And they're definitely a different color. It's a different shade. You can tell it's a different type of Talus. So again, it's tougher, it's tankier, but it's still not catastrophic on damage. So, you know, if you want to attempt it, I'm going to show you a good trick here for it. If you don't want to attempt it, again, no harm, no foul. Feel free to bypass. You can always come back to this later when you've got, you know, good attack power meals running, better armor, better weapons. But since I already know the sledgehammer isn't going to help us here, this is where I'm going to use one of our scimitars. That's a knight equivalent weapon. That'll definitely do us justice here. So again, guys, drop that save. And we're just going to kind of dive right in like we did before. Now, another thing that makes this fight intimidating, there's not a lot of land mass here. So that kind of cuts down on the ability to run around screaming with our hair on fire, punching ourselves, trying to put it out. It's tight quarters. So again, same type of party, guys. I'm just going to... Oh, I stayed up here that time. But if you need to, just, you know, climb them like we did on the plateau. And then just kind of go to town. Now, I could have drinking one of my low-level attack power elixirs here, and I probably should have if I was being more responsible. But I'm basically going to wail away until he kicks us off. And guys, that's by design. Yeah, you're going to take a quarter heart damage. It's not the end of the world. Again, it's minimal. But just try to stay running around in circles as far away from him as you can. And then when he tosses that rock, super speed, and you should be able to dodge his attacks. Once he's tossed both of his balls out, you can then climb him again, get on top. Uh-oh. Did I miss my window? I missed my window, because I'm a genius. But again, I'm just going to kind of wait for that rock throw. And guys, if these connect, again, it's not super catastrophic. The damage isn't terrible. So this is why I recommend just give it a try. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If you're nervous and sweaty palms and button fumbling, you know, it's part of the fun. It's all part of the experience. So anyway, I'm going to pay a little attention now here and get on top of this dude and hopefully finish this fight. Worth it! Yeah, I broke my scimitar, but worth it. So all in all, it's manageable, but again, for you new players, you're going to have to give that more than one go, most likely. Again, you know, getting back to Hinox and there being a lot of death. There was a lot of death with Taluses too. You know, don't underestimate the power of the Talus. It took me a while to figure out you could actually climb him, first of all. Once I figured that out, then I was having trouble, like, getting myself put back together after he threw me off. He just kept clobbering me. And that's when I learned you have to kind of give him a little bit of space and a little bit of distance to, you know, get yourself set back up a little better. Alright guys, here's yet another Korok seed, and take a look around for some more fish. And I'm still not seeing the hardy bass, which is super sad. But I'm going to keep an eye out. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go for Majora's Mask, I suppose, and just kind of get a move on. I just saw a baddie, I think. Oh, it was a fox, okay. I was like, wait, there aren't no bobkins here. At least I didn't think so. Another great thing about bombs in BotW is you can clear these leaves without wrecking weapons. And that is awesome. That's what you get. Punishment dished. Alright guys, here is that DLC treasure chest, and I'm going to go ahead and mark that with a star because it's one of the rare items. Whoops. So again, I don't want to make the non-DLC users feel like they're being left out, so I'm not really going to play with this. But for you DLC users, it is a very nice thing to have. And I'm just going to demonstrate it one time so you guys can see. Whoop. Ugh. Buttons. The power of the Majora's Mask. And now normally I'll leave this thing on. Like, this stays on through a good portion of my gameplay moving forward. You know, if I'm playing for myself. But again, I don't want non-DLC folks to feel like they're missing something here. So I'll show it. And then, you know, I'll just kind of play the game without it moving forward. So here it is, guys, the power of the mask. Now, the only caveat to this is during the night, if a stall monster... Well, I think it actually protects against stall monsters. But bats and certain creatures will not be affected by Majora's Mask. So once these other creatures get involved, I think it's primarily the bats. Maybe the stall monsters, too. Honestly, I can't remember. But whatever it is, if they aggro on Link, then they kind of like tattle on you, and then all the Bobkins are aware you're an enemy, and then they'll start attacking you. So Majora's Mask is really better used during the day, just again because the bats can be a real problem. So you can just kind of walk right into a bad boy nest, do whatever you want, loot whatever you want. Whoops. Steal whatever weapons you want, steal whatever chest loot you want, and you don't even have to deal with them. Now, of course, I'm going to kill him because I'm me and I just, you know, it wouldn't be fun otherwise. But, yeah, the power of the two-handed swinging weapon. Now that I can just kind of sucker punch all of them, I can stand here and just kill them all without any without any real work. You know, I just kind of hold down that Y button and go to town. Alright guys, so I've had my fun. I will go ahead and remove Majora's Mask. Just really wanted to demonstrate that for the folks that did spend the extra money. This is definitely a nice benefactor to your early gameplay. Now you kind of understand why I wished I had gotten this before I deviated to the other side of the Great Plateau where we dealt with the other monsters. That would have been nice to have in that bad boy nest for sure. Alright, go ahead and do your thing. Oh, yep, do your thing here with... Well, I really can't see, can I? And go ahead and put that little dot right in the crack. Now, buyer beware, if you miss, or for whatever the reason, that didn't smash, sometimes they'll bounce off and hit these bomb barrels, and that does about a heart and a half worth of damage. I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not I've ever had that happen to me personally. Alright, so that's that. And I went ahead and stamped. Yep, we are good to go. Okay guys, we're done with this little area for looting. Let's go ahead and circle back over to the Great Plateau. 6:30 p.m. It's almost nighttime. And wow, I still don't see my... Oh, wait a minute. Hold that thought. Hold your horses, Tonto. Whoa, hoss. Okay, I thought I saw some hardy bass there. Maybe they're not in this lake. I don't know. You know, I could be wrong about that. Or maybe they don't spawn in until we get to Lake Hylia. Yeah, that could be too. But either way, guys, the stamina fish, worth it. Oh, before we actually go back over to the snow biome, there is another hidden Korok seed here, which I guess we'll get that later. You know what, speaking of seeds, I need to do a quick seed inventory, see where I'm at. Make sure I got all the ones off the Great Plateau. I should have pulled 20 off the Great Plateau, minus the one I haven't gotten yet that I just talked about. That would have been 19, which means I've gotten 6 extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh, that means I'm missing one. Wherefore art thou Korok seed? So that other one that I'm talking about is down here somewhere. It's like right below this other one. Same type of deal. We have to pick up a metal door, get it out the way. Where am I missing a seed? No, this looks solid. Like, maybe I'm just counting wrong. Okay, yeah, I'm possibly just counting wrong. Or actually, no, I think this one I count it as Great Plateau as one of the 20. Okay, I think we're okay. Anyway, wow, I almost had a aneurysm there. I'm like, I said I'm 100%ing this thing, I meant it. So anyway, yeah, we're going to get that when we go off the Great Plateau toward Lake Hylia. But for now, I just kind of want to get back to the plateau here and really finish out the snow biome. And while that's thinking, I'm going to take a break, do a little stretching, come back on camera with y'all. Catch up on chat, because that's always fun. And I'm about an hour and a half in. Yeah, we're in real good shape today, guys. We might even make it to Lake Hylia if we can. Scratch that. I don't think we will. There's some involvement with that. Alright, switch to, yeah, I saw that. Keep trying. Wanda, spin attack, yep. That's my go-to. That spin attack. Two-handed swinging weapons. I say it all the time. And when we get Royal Claymores, which we're getting, guys, right off the Great Plateau here, within the next stream or two, we're going to have Royal Claymores in our inventory in combat. And you're just going to be a very unstoppable force very early in your game. Even for new players, that gives you all the advantage you need. Plus the attack power meals we're going to eat on top of that. It's all the confidence you're going to need moving forward. So yeah, I'm just really excited to share this, guys. Alright, I'll go ahead and get out of the way. See you later, alligator. And I don't know if it's late enough at night yet, quote-unquote. We're going to try. Fingers crossed. But these bats are important because the ice bat wings are needed for the jumpsuit, aka the climbing gear. And, you know, they're tough to come by when you really need them, so I just like to stay ahead of the game and collect them as I go, and here is a good place to do that, but again, it has to be night. And it looks like I got lucky here. And same type of thing with the electric bats that I warned you about. See, I did that on purpose, totally on purpose, because I wanted to demonstrate what would happen, you know, if you detonated the bomb too soon and the bat hit you, that you just blew up. So if that was an electric bat, I would have gone, you know, probably dropped my weapons and then taken a lot of heart damage. The ice bats do it to you, but it's not a ton of damage. The bad thing about that is they freeze you, so then you're vulnerable to other attacks. You're just kind of sitting there until you can break free. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show that. The bombs are great because they save your weapons, but you do take that risk that it's going to come back and get you. Bad karma. And that's always fun, by the way, kicking the skulls into the water. I love the graphic Link does when he lifts his leg. Pretty awesome. Again, I don't believe there's any chest loot, but for some reason my spidey senses are tingling, so I need to come take another look, apparently. Pretty sure there's nothing here, though. Maybe a floating chest? No, that's TOTK, right? Jeepers. I'm getting my games mixed up. Alright, where are my choo-choos? There we go. Yeah, this is another thing you're going to need for suit upgrades. Might as well scoop them up while they're easy. And here on the Great Plateau, it is easy. The spray can of easy. Okay, and again, guys, just a helpful tip for helping you keep moving a little bit faster. Try to find the rock surface, and you can sprint on that a lot quicker than the snow. Excuse me, the snow. It's already hiccup o'clock, and it's not even nighttime yet. So this is that hidden cache. That hidden weapons cache I mentioned. And I gotta tell you, Breath of the Wild did not disappoint in the discovery aspect. I found this, and guys, I was breathless. I was like, this is so awesome. Had no idea it was here. Just walked in there because I was curious. Not only was it awesome to find, but there was awesome loot in here. Like, yeah, just good stuff all the way around. I think there's a bow in one of these, and I think it's another one of these, actually. Good guess. And then not to mention more arrows. Definitely a nice little cache spot, especially for an early game type of setting. Really love that. Alright guys, once again, back over to our trial. We are not yet done collecting ice bats. And then I think that pretty much covers mastering the Great Plateau. I think I hit it pretty thoroughly. Before I end stream, you know, I'm going to take another look and make sure I didn't brain fart and miss something super important like a Korok seed. And I might use like an IGN or dungeon map or something like that to make sure, but... yeah, so getting back to ice bats. Oh, here's another fun fact. You can aerial bombard with bombs. Kind of tough to hit your target sometimes. It's tough to line that up, as I just showed. But if all else fails, you've always got your bullet time. Oh, and by the way, be careful not to detonate your bomb too close. Like, after you poop it out, let it fall a little while. Don't detonate it too soon, because it can knock you right out of the sky. Again, I can't confirm nor deny whether or not I'm speaking from personal experience. We'll just call that an important safety tip just in case. Okay, there's another couple of bats. I really didn't want to deal with the stall monsters. Hopefully I can avoid them. Ouch. Oh, I missed one! Yikes! Ouch. Good thing the damage is super minimal here. Matter of fact, I should do something about that. And there should be more bats around here. There's a bat in my belfry. Where is this bat? Okay. A little further out than what I remembered. Live and let live on that. Alright, we did pretty good there. Got 7. So not a bad little raid. And guys, you can come back here after Blood Moon, and those bats will respawn. So you can kind of run that real quick route again, you know, if you're in need, and get even more frozen bat wings. I think that's it. Again, I'm gonna get on my dungeon map here and make real sure before I call this one done. So I was trying to do the Great Plateau in one stream, but wow, I was really taking my time last night. Like, I was over 2 hours, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna drag this out. If I was playing, just focusing on the game, not worrying about speaking and stuff, I probably could have done it in about 3 hours. 100%. Plus all the little spooky stuff, you know, right off the Great Plateau. But, yeah, it's still a good push. Like, 3 hours is still a good amount of time. But either way, you know, it works out in 2 streams, I guess. Alright, guys, and figure out what map I'm pulling up, and I'll let you know for proper shoutouts. Actually, I'm going to use ZeldaDungeon.net just because I have it bookmarked for Tears of the Kingdom. I'll just go over to the Breath of the Wild. Okay. And wow, I guess I really need to zoom into this thing to get the treasure chest to come online. Why aren't the chests showing up? Oh, I might have it filtered? Apparently the filters are all turned off. That's annoying. Okay, but anyway, I'm really just looking for treasure chest Korok seeds. And I'm going to go by the numbers here, make sure I've got everything, all the goods. Yeah, my map's broken. The treasure chests aren't coming up. I don't know why. I'm going to have to try a different map. It's really weird. I've never had this problem before with dungeon.net. Okay, so I guess I'll bounce over to IGN, see if I have any better luck with that. And the IGN one is tough to see because when you zoom out, it's like all you can see is a bunch of like icons and you can't even see the terrain anymore. So this one isn't my favorite, but it is accurate. So yeah, IGN is what I'm on right now. Okay, got the 3 chests, check. Why did I mark a treasure chest there? There's no chest there. Yeah, there is. That's weird, it's not marked on the IGN map. What's going on? I just want a map that shows me everything to make sure I got everything. Like, it should be easy. Okay, Korok, got him. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I'm having issues with my maps. I don't know, maybe it's my internet or something. But now IGN isn't working right. Maybe I'll try Polygon? Or Map Genie. I'm not real familiar with Map Genie. Oh wow, there's a lot of ads popping up on this one. Never mind. Zelda maps. Let's see what that's about. Okay, yeah, this one seems to be showing everything. Okay, once again, just making sure I'm being thorough here. Got the 3, got the chests, got the Koroks. Check. Then we went kind of down here toward the tower. And I know I pointed it out, but I didn't actually get the chest. So maybe I should just go ahead and put a treasure chest icon there, because that's got that sword, or that bow. No, sword, I said it right the first time. That's a leveling chest, so I definitely want to keep that for safekeeping later on. Yeah, moving kind of south. There's really not much around that tower. Yep, forgot to stamp the skull. Fail. But we did get it. There's a chest in there we got. Check. The weapon, absolutely worth marking. Korok seed, and again, I haven't gotten it yet, but there's another Korok seed right down here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and fast travel over there. But I know I got the DLC chest. Yep, check. I need to make sure I actually stamped that. And I'll just go ahead and get that seed in so we can call it complete. And hopefully my image being in the picture doesn't get in the way too much. Alright, I do want to show this real quick. The bats. You can use bombs and keep the bombs between you and the bats. And when they dive down... Oh, he picked it up. When they dive down and come get you, you can detonate your ordnance and get several bats. So that's one way to do it without using weapons. Otherwise, you can just, you know, take out your bow and arrow and lob a bomb arrow at those things, and it kills quite a few bats. You get quite a few mats doing that. So yeah, it's a nice little thing to do is whenever you see the pile of bats. Not only that, it makes them go away, so they're not harassing you anymore. But yeah, you're going to start seeing the bats more regularly like that throughout Hyrule during the night. Okay, guys, and here's definitely that other Korok seed. So now I can call the Great Plateau done. Ugh. Alright, moving right along. I know I got that. I know I got the plateau chest. Good to go there. Yep. Check. Kind of funny, this map doesn't show the treasure chest where that bad boy nest is. I wonder why. And that's probably not super accurate anyway. It's more like... That's probably pretty close. Why am I having issues with internet maps today? Like, normally they're on point. Normally I use them just fine. They work just fine. Maybe I have to dump my internet files or something. I don't know. Temporary internet files in cache. Okay, we got that. Yep, good to go. Got the Korok. Okay, they did stamp it. I see, I am a little bit off. And it looks like I already got it. That's why. Okay, I'm just, yeah, Phew. Okay, so we're good to go. This is the one that's on top of the wooden thing. And then this one's the one that we had to blow up the fake pieces of wood hiding that one treasure chest. Yeah, I definitely stamped them. We're definitely good. That one was operator error. Then, of course, that one we had to jump down and get. Got it. And then there was that one I didn't actually show, but there's definitely a chest there. Under that boulder, just move it with stasis. Got it, got it. Yeah, well, it looks like I hit it all. Mm-hmm. Not bad going off of memory. Not bad at all. Sweet freaking deal. Yep, yep. Got him, got it. Yeah, guys, I think we're squared away. Unless I'm just, you know, something's flying right over my head here. I nailed it. We got everything we needed to get. Alright, freaking awesome. I can definitely call this one proper. Alright guys, so yeah, that pretty much concludes. I'll catch up on chat here in just a second. I want to get this hard drop saved because this is where we're going to leave off. And guys, when I come back on later this evening, 7 p.m., give or take, you know, that might be a little late due to physical therapy. I need to actually hurry up and get going here for that pretty soon. But, yeah, we're gonna go that way. And I know it looks far, it might be intimidating. If you're brand new to the game, you're like, whoa, we're going over there? Yes. Reason being, there's a big lake here. Plenty of fishing to do. Not real combat heavy. Yeah, there's going to be a new enemy type Lizzles, but they're green, they're easy to kill with, especially with the weapons we have. Like, we're way overpowered. You guys have no idea. There's a long distance bow over there. gemstones, rupees, Korok seeds, a shrine on the way. So yeah, guys, just it's a good route, but the main thing that I'm going to the lake for is going to be weapons and shock arrows. We don't have shock arrows yet. That's the one arrow we're missing. Guys, shock arrows are amazing. We're going to need those to go horse catching because the horses are right over here. 5-star speedster horse, guys. I can almost taste it. It's so juicy. Like, once we get that 5-star speedster horse, Hyrule is now open to us. That thing will rocket us across the map. That's what we're going to use to get out to the rainforest. That's what we're going to use to get out to Hestu. That's what we're going to use to get out to Kakariko. So yeah, guys, just so much more fun to come later on tonight. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I'm going to try to get to the stable. So I'm going to try to do Lake Hylia, loot, shock arrows, horse, stable. Not only that, for you DLC users, there's going to be another DLC chest coming up, and that one's going to be huge. So yeah, definitely going to want to catch that. So anyway, I'll catch up on chat here and finish my coffee. I already finished my coffee. Hey, Sunny family, welcome. Good to see ya. Not sure how long you've been there. Sorry if I missed you. Wanda loved the drop kick. Oh yeah, so much fun to watch. Advantage of dungeon maps is you can zoom into terrain a lot more than on the Switch. So if you really need terrain detail... Okay, I guess I didn't notice that. Thanks, Jim, for mentioning that. So yeah, I guess some of the online maps do zoom in better. I just hadn't noticed it, but yeah, awesome. Why not use Zelda notes? Termina is asking. Why not use Zelda notes? Zelda notes. What's a Zelda note? I'm just curious. Love the Zelda dungeon map for both. Yeah, Wanda. The thing I like about the dungeon is it shows you the Koroks that travel. So like some of the other maps, it just shows you where the seed is. Well, if you had to start that thing like by chasing flowers or something, 10,000 miles away, that doesn't help you. So the thing I liked about the dungeon map in particular was it showed that line showing you like where it originates, so you can go there and look for your Korok seed. Low battery, I know, Wanda. Me and my low batteries. I got to get that sucker plugged up before I go to PT. Silent Soliloquy. Hey, welcome. Yeah, I guess it is afternoon now. Yeah, Jim, I'm going to have to fool with my dungeon map. I'm sure they work just fine. I think maybe my internet cache needs to be cleared out or something. I'll work on that later. So Termina, I don't know about that. If there is a thing to that with the Switch 2, I don't know yet. Me and technology, it's a love-hate. So if there is some kind of an app that the Switch 2 users can use, I don't know about it. I'll have to work on that a little bit. Okay, Sunny, thank you. Thanks, Termina and Sunny, for talking about the app. So yeah, I don't have it. I don't know anything about it. Man, this is getting stressful because it's technology and my cell phone's gonna explode. I'll figure it out. I'll muscle through it someday. Okay, gotcha. That's what Zelda Notes is. See, I didn't even know what that was, Termina. So I didn't know. That's what the app is apparently called. Thank you, Jim. Huh, okay, yeah. I was unaware. So that's something else for Switch 2 users. If you guys are, on the fence about buying a Switch 2, there is an app that comes with that can apparently help you out a little bit. I'm going to have to play with that and see what it's all about. Okay, yeah. Jim says it can also give you totals on what you've done so far. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to experiment with that a little bit. Alright guys, but again, I need to get to PT here, so I'm going to go ahead and bid you all farewell. Guys, if you enjoyed it, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I really do always appreciate that. And as always, until the next time, which is this evening, best of luck and happy hunting. Happy hunting with your new and improved weapon systems. And we haven't even gotten started yet, guys. The next couple of streams or so, like by the end of this weekend, your minds are going to be blown. It's going to be out of control. We're just going to be armed up to the teeth. And weapon systems, and yeah, just all of it. It's coming, guys. It's coming. But yeah, definitely thank you all so much for tuning in today, and we'll catch y'all later on. Peace out, y'all. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the love and support. Much love, all. Have a good one.